Hey Jessica, how you doing? Thank you for your submission. I've got your work up right here, so let's go ahead and jump in. Good introduction. Good job describing your intent as a designer. Excellent job including some color considerations. Now I just want to mention when you are considering color palettes, you want to take a second to include your RGB and CMYK color values associated with the colors. At the very least, show your colors, which you've done, but it's a really good idea to add the colors as well. Um, okay, let's go ahead and jump to the design sketches. Now, one thing I want to cover first is what do we mean when we see, what is meant when we see the word sketches? 99 out of 100 times when you see the word sketches associated with a design project, it means traditional sketches. It means pencil to paper. And that's relevant. And the reason that's relevant is because the sketching stage is very, very important to design. The reason it's so important is because it allows you to organize your ideas in a less formal way than doing so digitally. The result is that you're able to make decisions much quicker while sketching. So let's say you're sketching out, I got my sketchbook here. Let's say I'm sketching out my ideas, right? And I say, oh, that's not going to work. I just trash it. I'm done. Okay, start over. Here, you've got working digitally. It takes a lot longer. You can't ideate as fast as you can while manually sketching. When manually sketching, you start taking notes. You write, you get an idea, another idea, make a note over here, but an arrow here, point to this, this, this. So finally, when you're done with your first sketch, you got all these ideas. You can transpose that into a presentation sketch where all your ideas are included. Do you see what I mean? So, most designers, especially in graphic design, really depend on the sketch stage to develop concept development and the ideation process of any given project. So I highly recommend that when you see the word sketches, forget the computer, just start sketching manually and intend on scanning to present. Okay, so as far as we see here, what I see is one thing you didn't mark is the front and the back of the page, but I see that based on your layout, the front of the layout of the brochure is on the bottom of the examples. We see it because we can see the front cover and the back cover here located here on the right and middle panels respectively. And we see that successful setup in all three of your examples. So that's fantastic. Now, in some of your examples here, we have, I mean, you're showing really good intent, and that's fantastic. Let me see, the first, the second, you have, okay, single. So in all, the first two examples you're showing, you're using all three panels of the trifold. And that's okay, but an interesting, really interesting way to design a trifold is to use one of the panels use two of the panels as a one panel, as one presentation here. Now in the back of the trifold, you can do one of three things. You can individually design each of the three panels. You can design two and leave one as kind of a sidebar, two as one of kind of a sidebar, or you can just go ahead and design the whole thing like a flyer that gets folded, right? So keep that in mind. And that's a really interesting alternative to only designing three columns on the front and three columns on the back. Okay, so at this point, I think you're ready to go. Just keep considering your ideas and start working on your layout. Be sure to visit the course announcements for this week. Specifically, there is several dedicated, there's a dedicated announcement on how to set up and design a trifold brochure. Definitely want to look at those. And be sure to look at the Welcome to Week 5 assignment announcement as well. There's a lot of information in this week's announcements area, so don't skip that. Definitely want to look at that before you start working on your trifold. So good job. Keep in mind my comments on sketching and as well as color palette. And also one thing that you might want to consider adding is also your type choices as well. Okay, great job, and definitely looking forward to seeing this project unfold. Thank you very much.